while I took a leave of absence from Universal while I worked on the sitcom, I continued to work as a guide while I worked most of my other day jobs. And work was steady and constant, and I was able to enjoy the job's benefits, especially the therapeutic elements. Dear Diary, today I finally put a childhood issue to rest. Something that I've been living with since I was a tiny little girl. I think it began the day that my parents brought my little sister Maria home from the hospital. I was excited at first, but then strange things started to happen. I was no longer the center of attention. I was booted out of my stroller being told that I was now a big girl and big girls had to walk. I soon learned that my brand new little sister could get away with murder. Oh, there was the time Uncle was watching us. We went to a store. They had a koi pond at the entrance. We wanted to stay and look at the fish, but Uncle said that we had to stay with him. I did. First chance she got, my sister was off like a shot, not wanting her to get in trouble. I ran after her, but by the time I caught her, Uncle had caught me. I was the one who got the spanking. Part of our chores growing up involved dusting and vacuuming the living and dining room. I vacuumed, she dusted, because she was too little to push the big vacuum. Okay, that was one thing when I was 8 and she was 5, but 5 years later when I was 13 and she was 10, why was she still too tiny to push the vacuum? She beat the hell out of me. As I began to outgrow my little girl cuteness, my sister exploited hers. She emulated Shirley Temple, wearing the frilliest of dresses and developing an unnatural love of the color pink. Around her, I began to feel invisible. And I swore that one day I was going to get my revenge. And then today at work, I think I did. I was hosting the special effects show. I was bored out of my mind. It had been a long day. This was my last show of the night. I was playing a David Hasselhoff clip for the tourists, and I decided I better look for a couple of volunteers for my show. I needed 4, 3 adults and a kid to ride the bike with E.T. And that's when I saw them. 2 little girls. I mean, it was Maria and myself when we were kids. Okay, these were 2 little Caucasian girls, but the resemblance wasn't there. They were both dressed in matching short sets. The older girl in blue, the younger one in pink, just as my mother would have dressed us. The older one was more serious, more introspective, while the younger one was staring right at me. Oh, great, someone has tipped this kid off that I pick a kid to be in the show. This little girl looks like she gets everything that she wants. Her older sister was looking as if she knew she could no longer compete with her little sister. Maybe she was feeling invisible. And that's when I decided that I was going to make the older girl my E.T. volunteer. No! Not just that, I was going to make her a star. So 5 minutes later, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for a little boy, little girl, someone who'd like to ride the bike with E.T. Both girls raised their hands. The little one turned up her cuteness to the maximum degree. The older one was smiling, but she looked as if, oh look, here we go again. I looked right at the little girl in pink, and then to her sister. Hi, how about you in the blue? Yeah, I think you'd be perfect. The older girl was pleasantly surprised, while the younger one, it was as if she was screaming at me, lady, you made a serious mistake, I'm the cute one. Well, my E.T. volunteer's name was Lauren. She and her family were from Pittsburgh. When I went to take her out of the audience to put her on the bike, the little one said, hey, does everyone get to ride the bike with E.T.? Today is just going to be your big sister. Normally, when I put a kid on the bike, I'd say something like, yeah, have fun, okay? Not with Lauren. I gave her direction. She followed to the letter. When the first few notes of John Williams' E.T. theme sounded, she looked amazed because she was flying. And then she looked around her at the stars and the planets, and then she saw the people and she began to wave. And the people began to applaud. then the segment was finished. But I wasn't. I helped her off the mic and brought her center stage to the spotlight. Ladies and gentlemen, when I came to work this morning, little did I know that I was going to discover Universal Studios' newest star. Another big round of applause for Lori! And they applauded and the lights dimmed. I took her back to her family and told her parents, she's a natural. The little one looked like she wanted to scratch her. At the end of the show, I was saying goodbye to my audience, and I spotted Lauren and her family. Lauren, thanks again for your help. You were excellent. She said, hey, thanks. Thanks a lot. The little one just looked at me. That's why I heard her mother say, oh, Brittany, please don't be that way. You were in the animal show earlier today. It was nice that your sister got to do something. And I thought to myself, Brittany, you mean you would have taken this away from your sister if you had a chance? Well, now it looks like we learned a very valuable life lesson today. Just because you're diddling cute doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get everything you want. As for Lauren, I hope that she learned that it wasn't always going to be about her little sister. Hell, it's taken me years to learn that. I hope she took away a really cool memory. And me, I just felt vindicated.